Jehovah is not a name at all. The name to Abraham and the people of the time was El Shaddai. His opposer, the one that was called the Lord in the Old text, was called Adonai. And respectively in the land of Canaan, we find identical stories coming up. They follow exactly the same pattern. They take us through the same sequence of events. They tell the same sagas. And they are called El Elyon and Baal. They mean exactly the same things. El Elyon means mountain lord, and Baal means lord. Means Adonai. Two characters still. The definitions of God and Lord as ending up in the Old Testament being mixed together throughout as if we've got one character in this story turn out to be totally wrong. It is a complete concoction of two quite different characters merged into one figure, hence the conflict of personalities. One was a vengeful God, a people hater. The records are very clear in this regard. The other was a social God, a people supporter. They each had wives, they each had sons and daughters. Writings tell us that throughout the patriarchal era, the Israelites endeavoured to support the Adonai, the Lord. All of the early stories tell of them trying to support the Adonai, the Lord. And at every step and turn of the way, the Jehovah figure is there, the storm god, retaliating with floods and famines and tempests and destruction, and just about everything that can possibly be put in the way of these people trying to follow the other guy. Even at the very last, at about 600 BC, and nearer to our time than that, the Bible explains that Jerusalem was overturned by invasion, strictly at Jehovah's bidding, and Jews in their tens of thousands were taken into captivity simply because, and this is the only reason given for all of that, the Israelites had erected temples to the Lord Baal. What we have is vengeance once again. Now it's during this time of captivity, all of these decades in Babylon, as the generations lived and died and the new ones grew up, that the Jews finally decided that all of these generations of trials and torments and famine and whatever wasn't really a great scene. Maybe we should get on this guy's side. So it was then, and only then, that suddenly we discover that Jehovah is taken on board as the God, and it's at that time that it is said that he chose us to be his people. It's the other way round, actually, but that's the way we get told the story. This is only about 500 years or so before the time of Jesus Christ. So the true story of the Jews and Jehovah and the chosen people is really quite young. Doesn't go way back to the time of Adam and Eve, not even to the time of Abraham. They were actually following a different God. So the Jews take Jehovah on board as the main God. They decide out of sheer fear for the peril of everything that this is the God they're now going to follow. The Christian church then, in a vague replication of that, eventually takes on the epitome of the same God. It doesn't call him Jehovah, it just simply calls him God, which is pretty inspirational. And it's at that time that we suddenly find that Baal and Adonai and these other names disappear.